Hello. So today I have the pleasure of having Mr. Manoj Kumar. So Mr. Manoj Kumar is a chartered accountant, but with a difference. He has built a career in information technology. So chartered accountants will generally want to be either in the financial reporting space or costing, budgeting, or even let's say stuff like investment banking, private equity. But a limited segment of chartered accountants build their career in information technology and artificial intelligence, etc. So, sir, welcome to the show. And
Thank you, Rak.
yes, and I have very quick questions for you in terms of when you qualified as a CA in 1996, what was the aspiration that you had for yourself? And so that's my first question. You started with Electrolux for some time, and then we'll talk about your transition, maybe the detour in your career.
Anurag, thank you very much for having in your show. It is my privilege, I would say, to be part of this conversation so that, if I could be of any help to any student or the fraternity, it would be real my pleasure. So let me tell you my start and the expression what you said. For a person from a middle class family, most of the time they do not have aspirations. Normally it is, getting some kind of a job. That's it, that's what it started. I don't want to lie where I say I had this aspiration and I have achieved, etc., etc. No, the first target was, once I qualified a chartered accountant, that okay, you should be getting employed in anywhere in the country, in any department, without compromise, without questioning the salary you would be getting. The first objective was very clear: get employed yourself. So that's how my journey started with SS Kothari and Company, a chartered accountants firm in Delhi. So they employed me for their audit, where I did couple of audit in statutory audit, tax audits, and internal audits. So that's how this journey started. And I was for audit in Electrolux. So they during the audit itself they said, would you mind in joining Electrolux? I was not aware what is the work. I said to myself, okay, it's a Electrolux is a multinational company. Why don't I join and then see how the career shape up? So I joined in their manufacturing plant, which was in my native town, I would say. It was in Alwar district of Rajasthan. And the biggest reason for the financial controller there to offer me the job, not my qualification or knowledge. He said, this guy is from this native only, so he would be a long-term player here. That's how the journey, started. I
Oh
was
my
very
God.
happy to join. So I was very happy to join Electrolux. And when I joined, later on, I realized it's a Fortune 500 white good
Yes.
company having so much presence. Okay. So there I started in the routine finance department, where I was handling the factory accounts, costing, MIS, etc. But then I got to work there on a ERP system named JD Edwards. Electrolux was in the process of implementing JD Edwards. And the first task which was given to me to reconcile that time there was a parallel run concept. The ERP was also running and the
Yes.
legacy system was also running for 3 months. And in the 3 months, the mess was there in both the books, because the same set of people were there who was doing the transaction in the legacy system, which was a wanky, a software, or maybe you can name it as a tally of today's word, okay,
Hmm.
and a ERP JD Edward system. So by having the same set of people have created mess both in Venki system as well as on the JD Edward system. So my first task was to reconcile the 3 months data, July 1997 to September 97 in JD Edwards, by making one books of account as a base. Since the legacy system and the ERP system work in a different fashion in terms of the control accounts, the transaction take place, etc., it has increased my knowledge on an ERP system. And it took me 4 months time to reconcile the 3 month balances between JD Edwards and the Venki system, which was well appreciated by our CFO, who was a Polish guy. And importantly, it has increased my knowledge towards ERP system, how it works. Then this work was over and I continued to work on ERP, on normal finance stuff. But then the opportunity knocked on a corporate office where the CFO called me that, Manoj, there is an opportunity in the corporate office. Would you like? But it's not in finance. It's in the systems department. So the only motivation for me to go from a factory which was in a village to to the shining city of Delhi, I would say. So that was the motivation. I have not think through how it will shape up my career, etc. But very transactional view I had about that. Okay, they are getting me to the corporate office. That's it. That was the only
Oh,
motive had. That's how this the IT journey started for me.
oh man, and that thanks for being so candid, because a lot of people will say, "Oh, this was something which I always planned, and from childhood I was inclined towards technology." They tried. So once things happen, then they try to prove as if that was always planned. But actually, things happen like this. We want a job, whatever we get, we get. Then we want to move to large city or to our hometown, we get.
So, Anurag, I would say, there are a few, I would say, some percentage, 2%, 3%, where they have the clarity from from their school days or during their professional degree, etc. But in my opinion, though, they are very few, very few.
Yes.
Most of us are very generic, and we do not know what we need to do except securing, because expectation of yourself to the society, parents, family, that okay, now you have a professional degree, you should be getting employed, as simple as that. And in a typical middle class family, nobody is there to guide as well, that okay, you should be doing this, you should not take this, and that's how you would be able to shape up. So the first target is to start from somewhere. And in my experience so far, wherever I have met so many professionals, most including the top, maybe MBAs from the premium institute, most of the time they also do not have a clarity. They have a clarity that okay, they should be placed on the day zero.
Yes.
So I
I
think
think we have
that's very
money
honest.
goals, we have job goals, but the direction, I'm not very sure how many people know that direction.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's how this journey started. So normally I say it is not my interest which decided this opportunity. I would say the opportunity decided interest.
And then you did a lot of projects like ExxonMobil and HPCL, where you implemented JD Edwards, then you implemented SAP at Schneider, and then HPCL Mittal Energy. So what was this exactly? I mean, हम पढ़ते तो कुछ और ही है एकदम डिफरेंट, एंड यहाँ एकदम आईटी सिस्टम्स में आप काम करने लगे होंगे, तो मॉड्यूल्स है एंड ऑफ कोर्स द बेस वुड बी अकाउंटिंग इन सम वे, बट या हाउ डिड अ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट एक्चुअली स्टार्ट शाइनिंग इन दिस रोल?
Anurag, I tell you, your qualification or your degree, it work always as a catalyst. Okay, it is not what you have studied. You would get opportunity to work on those area. For example, take our course of ACA. We have studied depth of taxation, depth of accounting, right from the holding companies questions, A to B, B to C, C to A, those kind of a holding questions, and your tax, your corporate law. We have studied the depth of all the subject. Okay, but you can't get opportunity in all subjects. So in my opinion, your qualification works as a catalyst. So the same works for me, having this accounting and finance, the qualification, but importantly, the attitude, the attitude to put more hard work. I think that's what pushed me to acquire this knowledge on the job. I would be wrong to say that okay, I got formal training, etc. It was more on the job training to acquire those knowledge in Electrolux first, where I learned how the processes are getting implemented. And I think my biggest learning was when Electrolux has acquired a company named Voltas and Allwen. Those two acquisition when Electrolux has made. So I was assigned a task to implement JD Edwards in those company. So we need to take out the legacy system from those companies and move everything to the JD Edwards. So I think that has created a foundation for me. One, about learning this accounting and the procurement processes, etc., etc. And secondly, the communication skill and the standing in front of the crowd, because I come from Rajasthan. It's not, and most of the time we have studied in the Hindi medium, so the communication was not so great. But when you go to the southern part of India, I was not having a choice. Okay, because by push you need to speak to English and all. So I think these two things were implementing JD Edwards system And secondly, to deal with the people, how to convince them, etc. So those abilities got generated during my tenure to Electrolux. And from there, when I was interacting with the consultants from J.D. Edwards implementing company, I realized there are international opportunities because, the consultant with whom I was interacting, after some time, I came to know that, okay, he has gone to US, or, many people are going to Europe, Singapore. So then the target came, okay, let's explore the international opportunities. And how then, this ExxonMobil Singapore, came on my way. I cracked the interview and landed up to ExxonMobil in Singapore. You're on mute, Anurag.
Yeah, RCA. So in terms of, like, what are the emerging technologies today? We keep hearing of artificial intelligence and robot process automation. For a lot of people, it just sounds fancy terms कि भाई ठीक है हवाबाजी है kite flying हो रहा है कोई कुछ हवा करके अपना job कर रहा है but actually क्या sir in real world like you work in a refinery now does technology can it play a role? Does it create impact?
Absolutely, Anurag. Whether it is in HMEL or any other company, initially IT department used to be seen more as an automation department, where you automate many, many things for your customer, your other business function. But now IT department is seen more as a value creation, and the technology what you have named, it has very, very importantly, whether it is robotic process automation, people, we have done many use cases in our in our HMEL, where routine and the mundane or the repetitive task can be eliminated by deploying this technology, and it creates lot impact. And importantly, people see this technology as a tool to improve efficiency. It is not about elimination of the job also, because when efficiency is generated out of these technology, you would be sparing more time in doing the quality job, doing more time in analyzing the job rather than doing the repetitive task. So what happens when repetitive tasks are there, then you try to ignore the analysis part. So when these tasks are getting important, so people are spending more time in analysis, building the models for using artificial intelligence and machine learning models. So these technologies are there for the consumption. They are not here just for the creation where that something got created. Only thing what matters today is how you contextualize in your environment. Technology exists for in the past also, and they are continuously evolving, but the important task is you need to really contextualize in your environment. So one solution does not fit for all. You really need to understand how it will make difference, how you generate efficiency, or how you generate, importantly, the value in any business. So that is my strong belief. You're on mute.
Technology take away our jobs?
In my opinion, not. In my opinion, only thing is we need to learn the new things. It will generate more jobs. Okay. It will there to improve the efficiency. It will improve the efficiency.
In terms of a lot of people who will not be able to cope up. So for example, there were a lot of people who opposed introduction of computers in India because they thought it will take away their job. But they actually enhance a lot of jobs. So similarly, there's artificial intelligence and ML and chat GPT and stuff. Maybe they are going to open new doors of human efforts.
It is, Anurag, we could make out the way Infosys, Wipro, TCS has made middle class strong. Okay. Had it is not been there, the service industry or IT industry not there, you can imagine where India would have been. Because in manufacturing, we have lost our race to China. I think this is the only industry where we have created a mark. And thanks to these companies which made India proud, Indian proud, and importantly, the middle class proud. Out of this middle class, if you take your neighborhood, we would be knowing people are working for great multinational company, not only in India, international also. In let's say take 10, 15 years or 20 years back, where going to an international was a kind of a dream. or even for a shorter duration. But in today's neighborhood, every neighborhood, you would realize, okay, somebody is working international, earning in dollars, and contributing to India GDP by remitting, because their first choice always is to send the money in India. Maybe the interest rate and the other investment opportunities are better here. For that reason, I would say these technologies have created more jobs, maybe different skill. So learning these technologies are not a choice. It is a must for all of us, and it's not a one-time learning. In my opinion, it's a continuous learning. So the temperament or the attitude of learning is definitely required, and those who will not gel with this, in my opinion, they need to fear about the losing the job or so. Otherwise, in my opinion, technology has created the positive impact.
Oh, absolutely fine. Any final one line of advice to youngsters that you would have?
So youngsters, since that maybe these youngsters for the chartered accountants, I would say traditionally we are known for our audit skills, accounting skill, or maybe that banking, treasury skills, etc. But digital also have lot opportunity for us, whether it is for ERP implementation, robotic process implementation, process design point of view, governance, risk, compliance, control point of view. Lot many opportunities are there. Maybe it roll to the for a CI also. Not many are there, but still I'm seeing it can be a great opportunity for chartered accountants in case they want to make career other than the conventional field which we are known for.
Thank you so much, sir, for these words of wisdom. And I'm sure those watching this will really like this. Thank you. Thank you so much.